Okay, so welcome everyone to your evening meditation. This is going to be a meditation based on Course in Miracles workbook lesson 281 and the preliminary section to that on what is the Holy Spirit. So just making yourself comfortable, sitting somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed for the next little while. So welcome everyone to, I've just got some feedback going on. Let's stop that. So just making yourself comfortable, sitting your feet shoulder width apart, cup your hands in your lap, close your eyes, back reasonably straight, connect with your breath, take a nice deep breath in through the nose and filling up the lower stomach and breathing into the heart center, into the upper chest and into the head. Feel a lovely life energy rising up from the lower stomach and spine into the heart center, all the way up the spine into the crown of the head, where you pause, just pause and connect with your breath. Final sip of air into the nostrils and just be still for a few moments. Just noticing any thoughts going on in your mind. So maybe there's some thoughts about the day, the weekend, maybe some thoughts about tomorrow if you're going back to work, a little bit of anxiety, whatever it is, just notice. Notice how it shows up in your body. So maybe there's a contraction in your chest, your stomach, knot in your stomach. Just a feeling of unease, clenched jaw, whatever it is. Notice these signs, these subtle cues that you're really out of alignment with your source. And now as you exhale, just choose to blow them all away. Imagine they're like cloud patterns in the sky, just blowing them all away with the breath. Letting them all go, blowing them all out. Pull the lower stomach into the spine, exhale. Fully find some stillness and some emptiness. Just really pay attention to the gaps between breaths and the gaps between my words and the sentences. So this is what all these words and breath work, meditation, and all spiritual practice is pointing to stillness and the silence that you can start to appreciate in the gaps between words, between any actions, activity in this world. It's always set within the frame of formless stillness. So breathing in again, stomach rises, chest rises. Notice the subtle flow of air into your nostrils. And a nice warm tingling feeling flowing up the back of your spine. With the breath into the chest, feel a nice warm feeling in your heart center. And that's flowing up into your upper chest and then into your head. Imagine it's like the cresting of a wave in the ocean. And then at the top, the crest of the wave, you just pause. So there you got a remote control, you just freeze frame it. And then notice the stillness and the peace that comes with this. Just by noticing stillness. How simple. And yet, something that eludes most people. Simplicity of the truth. And then exhale, just sighing it all out. Making a little sighing sound in the back of your throat as though you're fogging sunglasses, but you keep your mouth closed. It's like the sighing sound of the ocean subsiding back, down into the peace and the stillness. Chest and stomach suck back in, and you come to rest for a few moments again. Appreciate the stillness and the silence, and then repeat the process. So just watching the breath, all the subtle sensations around the breath. Just noticing, paying attention to all of these. So when you do that, you tune in to the present moment, completely in the now. And so all those sense perceptions aren't the ultimate truth. They can be used for holy purposes or not, depending on how you choose to perceive them. When you're able to just observe them, bring your mind into present moment awareness, find stillness and peace, and they're being used by the Holy Spirit. So as you keep watching your breath, just listen to this short explanation, because you might be wondering, what is this thing called the Holy Spirit? It's a traditional Christian term. As with most traditional Christian terms, there is another way of looking at it. There's another interpretation of what the Holy Spirit is. So this section precedes the workbook lesson, the series of workbook lessons we just embarked on. Answers the question, what is the Holy Spirit? Just keep watching your breath and staying very still, calm, empty, open, and aware as you do that. Just watching the breath, remaining still. Your mind is an empty vessel. It's ready to receive these profound ideas. And so when you listen, don't try and intellectually understand them, evaluate them, compare them, contrast them, judge them. Just allow them to sink in to your subconscious mind, to a deeper part of your mind that is beyond all of those defenses, really. These movements of the mind are defenses against oneness, against the eternal truth that there is only love. So just let these ideas permeate into a deeper part of your mind, your subconscious, which is where they're needed to undo the default thought system of this world, which of course calls the ego. Belief in separation, that you are a separate self. And the world is populated by billions of separate selves. Trillions, in fact, because there are many, many living organisms that aren't human. Animals, plants, microorganisms, insects. Each one seems to have a separate identity. But as we'll hear, this isn't true. The Holy Spirit reinterprets all of us for us. Helps us to see the world of illusion differently. So keep watching your breath and listening in this way as you listen to this answer to the question, what is the Holy Spirit? So the Holy Spirit mediates between illusions and the truth. Since he must bridge the gap between reality and dreams, perception leads to knowledge through the grace that God has given him, to be his gift to everyone who turns to him for truth. Across the bridge that he provides are dreams all carried to the truth, to be dispelled before the light of knowledge. There are sights and sounds forever laid aside. Where they were perceived before, forgiveness has made possible perception's tranquil end. Just pause, watch your breath. Just getting a glimpse of this tranquil end to perception. Perception is interpretation. When you stop interpreting, creating meaning out of your sense perceptions, then you're on the right track. You're on the road to perception's tranquil end. Feel a sense of that tranquility arising in your mind, washing over you, a blanket of peace, protection. So keep watching your breath and listening to the rest of this pretty short passage. In answer to the question, what is the Holy Spirit? So the goal the Holy Spirit's teaching sets is just this end of dreams. For sights and sounds must be translated from the witnesses of fear to those of love. And when this is entirely accomplished, learning has achieved the only goal it has in truth. For learning, as the Holy Spirit guides it to the outcome he perceives for it, becomes the means to go beyond itself, to be replaced by the eternal truth. If you but knew how much your Father, your source, yearns to have you recognize your sinlessness, you would not let his voice appeal in vain, nor turn away from his replacement for the fearful images and dreams you made. The Holy Spirit understands the means you made, by which you would attain what is forever unattainable. And if you offer them to him, he will employ the means you made for exile to restore your mind to where it truly is at home. Just pause, reflect on that, watch your breath. Means by which you would attain what is forever unattainable. And what's unattainable? What we think we're going to find happiness and peace, some kind of fulfillment and contentment by following the ego's directions. The ego is our sense of a separate self. But Jesus is saying this other voice, the Holy Spirit, understands the means we made, all these mechanisms of illusion that we've spun, by which we attain, we're trying to attain some kind of happiness, some kind of satisfaction and peace, fulfillment in a dream world that isn't ultimately real, that is a denial of true reality. So the Holy Spirit understands this is never going to work, and so made these means to attain what within the construct of the ego is forever unattainable. Which means that the ego and the entire world, the universe it's created, is an exercise in futility. Because you're trying to attain what is not attainable within the construct. And all you're going to experience is a sense of disappointment, frustration, which can turn into anger very easily, sadness, grievances, resentment, bitterness. And yet, all of this is self-created. We've set ourselves up for this by deciding that we didn't want God, we didn't want peace, we didn't want heaven. We wanted to make up our own little world, our own little kingdom. So we've made all these means, these illusions, to exile ourselves. But the Holy Spirit's function is to restore our minds to where it truly is at home. The kingdom of heaven is within, said Jesus. So you will not find it outside of you. It's only in the internal reality of your mind, place of love and peace and joy, that transcends whatever you perceive in the world, whatever seems to be in the world. And so from this place of knowledge, where he has been placed by God, the Holy Spirit calls to you to let forgiveness rest upon your dreams and be restored to sanity and peace of mind. Without forgiveness, will your dreams remain to terrify you? And the memory of all your Father's love will not return, to signify the end of dreams has come. So accept your Father's gift, your source's gift to you. It is a call from love to love, because God is just love. Let it be but itself. The Holy Spirit is his gift, by which the quietness of heaven is restored to God's beloved Son, to love's beloved extension, if you prefer that language. So would you refuse to take the function of completing God or love? And all he wills is that you be complete. Just pause, watch your breath, and ponder that question. Would you refuse the call of God, the call of love? So really the same thing. Don't get hung up on the language. Christian terminology, God, Holy Spirit, Christ, etc. These are just words that point to ideas in the mind. And these ideas are timeless and universal. And they exist in many different spiritual traditions, cultures, religions, go by many different names. So these terms just point you to universal truths, which is what we all yearn for, the truth of who we are. So I'm going to move on to today's workbook lesson 281. So to start with, take a nice deep breath in through the nose, filling up the lower stomach. So you're breathing into the belly button, blowing up the lower stomach like a balloon. And into the heart center, into the upper chest, the head. Just pause at the top of the inhale. Just find the stillness. Top of the inhale. And into that still, calm, empty, spacious awareness. Just drop today's lesson, central idea behind today's lesson 281. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. So just scan your mind. Search your mind for any thoughts that seem to be cropping up. Notice them. Notice the energetic quality of them. So if it's a fear thought, you'll notice that it's got a contracted feeling to it. It's not pleasant. It kind of hurts your mind. And obviously, if you act on that, then it can lead to physical hurt, hurting yourself, hurting others. It doesn't seem that way. It seems like fear is going to protect you, but that's simply not the case. Fear is an attack thought because it acknowledges the reality of something outside of you can apparently hurt you. In the end, it's only your own interpretation of what happens to you, whatever happens externally. In other words, your thoughts about it, that can hurt you. Even if you seem to be in physical pain, because the real hurt is emotional, it's mental and emotional. So exhale and just blow all of this negativity, the thoughts, the emotions, blowing them out like a black smoke out of your mouth. So nothingness they always were and still are. Pull the lower stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. Again, notice the stillness, silence, the peace that comes in the gap between breaths. And breathing in again. Just watching your breath as before. Noticing all the subtle sensations of the breath, the stomach rise, the chest rise. So the flow of air into the nostrils. Life energy rising up from the lower stomach and spine, up your spine into your crown. Pause, exhale. Notice the air flowing out of your nostrils, side all out. Notice the vibration in your throat. Chest and stomach suck back in, and you sigh it all out like the ocean, just sighing back, cresting the wave crests, and then sighs into the beach, and then sucks back, and you breathe in again. So as you watch your breath, maintain this nice, calm, empty, open, spacious awareness. Say one more time to yourself, I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. And now listen to this commentary on this idea. Just a few sentences. Let them just drop into your awareness. Very still, calm, empty, open, and aware. Let them permeate in to your subconscious mind. So, Father, Source, your Son is perfect. When I think that I'm hurt in any way, it's because I've forgotten who I am, and that I am as you created me. Your thoughts can only bring me happiness. If ever I'm sad, or hurt, or ill, I've forgotten what you think, and put my little meaningless ideas in place of where your thoughts belong, and where they are. I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. The thoughts I think with you can only bless. Thoughts I think with you alone are true. Just pause, reflect on that. It's very, very simple teaching, actually. Just not always easy to see our own thoughts, to just be aware when we're thinking negative thoughts that are hurtful. But in the end, that's the source of all hurt and pain. Even if something or someone appears to be hurting you, physically even, it's still your thoughts about it that are going to hurt you. Physical pain isn't the pain that's really the problem. It's mental and emotional distress that physical pain often causes us. Mental and emotional pain is far harder to deal with. And yet it's just a simple matter of changing our own minds. Correcting our thoughts, not thinking the negative thoughts. Even if the condition that seems to be causing these thoughts is still in place. So really the condition is a projection of the hurt in our own minds. And then that hurt seeks to recreate itself, and so it needs things, places, people, events, circumstances to line up to give us the experience of hurt, so that it can now justify the thoughts and the emotions of hurt. And that's how the ego keeps recreating itself, through the illusion. Only one thing is going to help you out of this diabolical plot to enslave your mind, and that is forgiveness. Letting go of prefer, because forgiveness is really just letting go of the negativity, negative thoughts and emotions as they arise, and the awareness to look at them and courage to decide to let go of them. Empty your mind and just find the stillness that transcends thought, the eternal sky of your mind beyond the cloud patterns of the ever-shifting, changing thoughts related to this world. So to close this meditation, just going to have a couple of minutes of silence. Invite this peaceful presence beyond thoughts, beyond all hurt and pain and sadness and illness into your mind with this invitation, affirmation. Say, I will not hurt myself today, for I am far beyond all pain. My Father, my source, placed me safe in heaven, watching over me. And I would not attack the Son he loves, the extension of love itself, which is me, and all of my brothers and sisters. For what he loves is also mine to love. And with that invitation, just rest, watch your breath. Breathing in, nice, deep, slow breaths. Remind yourself there's really nothing to do, nowhere else to go, nothing else to think about. Just breathe, relax, and be still. For the next 2 minutes of silence, sinking into a place deep in your mind beyond thoughts. Letting the peace arise from that deeper place, the kingdom of heaven, Jesus called it. For the next 2 minutes of silence. And if any thoughts come in to distract you, disturb you, any external sounds, just notice them and blow them away with the breath. By exhaling out, just imagine they're like cloud patterns, just blowing away with the wind of your breath. And you restore your mind to the eternal sky that is beyond all thought. And this eternal awareness, which is your true self, there is no hurt, there is no pain, there is no need to think in the conventional sense of the word. thoughts you think with God are not worldly thoughts. They're not thoughts about subjects and objects. They are merely an openness, an awareness of a transcendent peace, a love, a joy that are not of this world. So on the count of three, you're going to gently bring your awareness back into this world. So you're going to stay connected to this other world that hopefully you've connected with quite deeply over the last half an hour. So one, just noticing stomach rise, the chest rise, subtle flow of air into the nostrils, the life energy rising up the back of the spine to the crown of the head. Pause at the top of the inhale. And then you exhale. Sighing it all out. Exhaling it all out, letting it all go. Chest and the stomach suck back in. Air flows out of your nostrils. There's the vibration in your throat. Connect with the stillness and the gaps. Gap between breaths. Breathe in again. And just notice all your body senses. So, what are you feeling with your hands? Maybe there's a subtle flow of air on your skin. Notice what you're tasting. So aftertaste after dinner. Notice what you're smelling. Take a sip of air in. Notice the air flowing into your nostrils. And notice what you're hearing, whatever the sounds are. Just listen to them in the distance, but without judgment. There's no resistance or judgment. Just allow them to be as they are. Because there's no expectation of how things should be in the world of form, in the level of perception. And so these little exercises are training your mind to engage in non-judgmental perception. This is the way home, it's the way out of all the hurtful thoughts that we think about in this world, and our experiences in this world. And so three, just open your eyes, look around, take 30 seconds. Just scan the room wherever you happen to be. Just noticing all the objects around you, seemingly separate objects, but without naming them or judging them or labeling them, trying to interpret them, evaluate them, create a story about them. They just are, and there's an underlying peace. That peace is the same for each object you see. And that's what you try to connect with through non-judgmental perception, is this transcendent awareness and the peace that it brings beyond specific objects, thoughts about them. Anything specific is by definition not one, because there's an idea of separation behind it. Whereas oneness is whole, pure, and totally beyond hurt of any kind. So just notice this nice, peaceful, connected state. Anchor that in for the rest of the evening. To help you to stay there, use today's lesson, today's idea. If anything comes in to just disturb your peace, I can be hurt by nothing but my thoughts. And as you exhale, you just let go of your attachment to those thoughts. Sounds simple, but Requires a lot of mind training, a lot of practice. For those in the WhatsApp group, I have sent you a shorter recording to help you do this. So use that. And I wish you a very peaceful evening and a good week ahead. Hope this meditation set you up for a great night's sleep. And to connect with you tomorrow, there's a meditation at 12:30 UK time, 1:30 SA time, and again at 5 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. SA time. In the Zoom room, if you're out there on YouTube, welcome to join me for the evening one by just subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I go live. And if you'd like to join us in Zoom, then go to free meditations.online, freemeditations.online to find out more and register. So hope to connect with you tomorrow. Have a peaceful evening. Namaste.